Hola, hola, Bafeto. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of All Things Football with Bakang. My name is Bakandi Poko, and I'll be pushing this movement. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We are currently sitting on 76 subscribers, so we are only 24 short of getting to 100. So please do the right thing. Road to 100 subbies. Here we go. So this weekend we have the first leg of the semifinals of the MTN 8. We have Orlando Pirates taking on Mamelodi Sundowns at Orlando Stadium. The game is playing on the 15th of August at 3 o'clock. And later on at 6 o'clock, we have Stellenbosch FC against Sekhukhune FC. So I'm just going to give you guys a preview of the first leg games. I believe it's going to be very intense matches. So we'll start with Orlando Pirates against Mamelodi Sundowns. The Sea Robbers didn't have the best of starts to the Betway Premiership. We know that 2 rounds have played and they lost both their matches. They first lost to Sekhukhune United at Orlando Stadium. They lost 1-0 to Sekhukhune. It was a tight game. We know that Sekhukhune, they are low key, they are Hudu team because they also collected 3 points at Escotini last season, and they did the same thing this season. So we saw the coach ringing the changes against Maruma Gallants, and they still lost the game to Maruma Gallants, even though they took the lead first. And I've heard a lot of Orlando Pirates calling for Coach Uda's head. The Bacania faithfuls are not happy. It seems like the selection is chowing the coach. So in the first game against Kukune, we saw him going with China at the poles. At left back, he had Hoto. Right back, he had Mashulwane, the newly signed Mashulwane. He had TLB at left center back, and he also had Nkosinathi Sibisi at right center back. But at some point, we saw the 2 center backs swapping around. So I'm not really sure what was the thinking behind the swapping of the central defenders, because we know that TLB is left-footed, Bodlela is right-footed, so I'm not really sure what the coach was trying to achieve there. Kept Spesihle Nduli at central defending midfield. We also had Mbule and Tito supporting the CDM. On the left-hand side, we had Relebohile Mofokeng. Right-hand side, we had Oswena Polis, and the radio man was up top for the Buccaneers. It was a game where Pirates didn't create a lot of chances. They didn't really create a lot of clear-cut chances. They were even forced to even start taking shots from a distance. We saw Mbule testing the goalkeeper from a distance. But I'm not really sure why the coach ringed a lot of changes in the game against Maruma Gallants that played in the week. Maybe one can suggest that it's because of the game that's coming up against Mamelodi Sundowns. We're not really sure. We saw him going with the same keeper. He took Bodlela off and put in Lebone Siema, the newly signed Lebone Siema from TS Galaxy. We saw him putting Bule on the bench. He played Mariko. We saw him putting Relebohile Mofokeng on the bench and going for Tshepang Moremi, who was recently signed from Amazulu. My thinking is that maybe he was saving the key players for the Sundowns game. But one thing that I'm sure of is that the supporters were not happy. As soon as the lineup was announced, I saw a lot of supporters stating how they're not happy about the lineup. And I guess we understand why they were not happy, because the result didn't even go their way. So I saw Mariko. I'm not really sure why Mariko was not taken to Chippa United on loan. I believe that he still needs to adapt to how things happen at Orlando Pirates or rather the PSL. Not sure whether it's a matter of the league or the club, but we know that Orlando Pirates took the other Mariko, the Mariko brother, to Chippa United for on loan. So I'm not really sure why that one was taken to Chippa and the other one was kept. I've not really seen what's so special about Mariko. You can tell that he knows how to play ball, but I'm not sure what is missing there. Another player that the Buccaneers have been crying for is Talent Mbata. Most supporters believe that the coach was not supposed to change the core of the team. We're talking about the team that went to the CAF Champions League semifinals. We're talking about the team that finished second on the log. And we're talking about the team that went to the Nedbank Cup finals. So we know that Makaula is injured. So that one is justified. The change is justified. But you start asking yourself why your likes of Talent and Mbata is not playing. I'm not saying maybe Bule is not a good player, but maybe the coach is just supposed to take an approach that's a bit cautious and integrate the new guys on a very steady basis. So it's a tough one. There's Tsehoma Basa up top who's not playing. There is Evidence Makopa up top who's also not starting matches. At least he has gotten some minutes this season. He came on against Marumo Gallants. And you could tell that he's keeping the centre backs busy. But one thing I've realized is that Orlando Pirates has strikers that have different profiles. So it's going to be a bit tough for the coach to crack the system and get the striker that's going to suit his style of play. But I saw a few decent crosses from the right back Mashiolane, but there was no one up top to finish those delicious crosses. And in my mind, I was like, where is Tsehoma Basa, the sniper? Because he's always lurking around the box. So it's a tough one. We know that Mahopa is also very mobile, but when he moves, when he drifts to the side, he pulls a few centre backs with him, which allows your likes of Mofuken to running behind or even Tito. So I know that Radio Pan is very strong on the ball. He doesn't lose the ball easily, especially when it's on his feet. But yeah, we're not sure how coach is going to approach the Santos match. He already has a lot going on. They haven't collected anything this season. So it's a tough one. We'll see whether he's going to play Bodlela again at centre back tomorrow. So yeah, it's going to be a good game of football. We know that it's a sold out affair. And we urge the Bacania faithfuls to please come early to the stadium. We don't want any delays to kick off. And yeah, we're looking forward to how Coach Uda is going to line up tomorrow. But it's not going to be an easy one. From Mamelodi Sundowns side, they first played Chippa United in the Eastern Cape and they drew 1-1. It was not the best of games from Mamelodi Sundowns. I believe they created a lot of chances in the first half. We saw the coach opting to go with Jaden Adams over Mshishi. We saw the coach going for two left-footed fullbacks. Basadin started the match and Modiba started the match. At some point, they were just switching the sides. I'm not really sure why he went for that because Mdungela was on the bench. And we later saw Mdungela getting subbed on. And he went back to the right back position that we know him of. So it wasn't the best of matches from Mamelodi Sundowns. I believe that Chippa were also very organized. I was looking forward to seeing how Coach Temba Badela is going to structure this Chippa United side ahead of this season. But unfortunately, I've heard that there might be potential termination of his contract because of a few misalignments between him and the sporting director / the chairman. I know that he plays very good football. He has coached the DDC side of Mamelodi Sundowns and he's also traveled around with Coach Rano Mokwena. So I was looking forward to seeing whether he's going to play a very similar style of play to the one that we know Mlongisi to play. But yeah, we are focusing on Mamelodi Sundowns. We saw Mshishi getting introduced at the later stage. We saw the likes of Siabonga Mabena getting introduced and Kutlano Tlhaku. They actually brought some spark to the match. They combined well on a few occasions. And I'm actually hoping to see more of the two young lads, as we know that the Under 20 World Cup is coming up. So we need a fresh and match fit Mabena and Letlaku in our national team. But with regards to the defense, they were caught in a few occasions against Chippa United. We saw the left back from Chippa United, Sithole, storming on a few occasions, putting a few good crosses. So I'm not sure whether there's an area that they have to watch out for tomorrow. We know that they played Amazulu during the week. It was a comfortable win, a 2-0 win. I know that it was an intense first half, but we saw a few moments of brilliance from Arthur Sales I believe that that's the man that's going to be the chief creator for this Mamelodi Sundowns team. If they lose Lucas Ribeiro Costa, we know that he's been linked with a move away from the club. We're still waiting for the club to make a decision. We know that they've received several offers from abroad. We also know that Kurisho Mudau hasn't been playing because of contractual issues. It's a sensitive one. We don't really know what the main issue is, but we just know that it's contractual issues. We also know that Peter Shalule has been in talks with a few North American giants with regards to getting a move to the club, the North African clubs, but he's still contracted to Sundowns. So there will have to be a club-to-club agreement in place and a player-to-club agreement. So we'll see. He came on against Amazulu. He was also on the bench against Chipa. So we're looking forward to see whether we're going to see him tomorrow against Orlando Pirates. Matthews is also going to be a very, very important player for Mamelodi Sundowns tomorrow. We know that he'll be up top with Reyners and Arthur Salas. That's if the coach is going to stick to his traditional lineup that we saw at the Club World Cup and that we saw against Chipa United. I believe that with regards to the midfield, we already know who he's going to go for. I believe he's going to go for the experienced Mshishi, your versatile Teboho Mokoena, and the Nipi Maceo Allende. We're not sure who he's going to go for at the full backs, but we might see Mdungelwa at right back. We might see Modiba or Basidin at left back. Ronza at the posts. At center back, there's Mosali Busa, there's Grant Kekana, and there's Kopito. So I know the two will start. We're not sure who he's going to go for in the CB position. But I believe it's going to be a very tight game in Orlando. We know that it's usually tense when the two teams go head to head. I believe that it's gonna end up in a draw. It's gonna be decided next week on the 23rd of August at the Lucas Masterpiece Moripe Stadium. That's where it's gonna be decided. For tomorrow, I believe that it's gonna be a draw, maybe a 1-1 draw or a 0-0 draw, but it's gonna be very tight. Yes, Orlando Pirates didn't have the best of starts, but it's a big occasion. The players don't need motivation. I'm hoping that your likes of Relamo Fuking is gonna raise his hand. We know that the boy hasn't been playing as well as we know him to play. We're not sure whether it's because of the potential move that we all thought is gonna happen now to Europe or abroad. But such things can have an impact on a player's mind. So I'm just hoping that the boy is gonna come back and be the relay that we know. Also looking forward to seeing a refreshed Matthews. We know that Reyners is also is very hungry. He recently stated that he's not happy with the fact that he was snapped at the PSL Awards. So that might be one of the reasons why we're seeing a very deadly Reyners. But it's gonna be a good game of football. My prediction is that it's gonna end in a draw. So the second leg is gonna be just as intense because I believe that the first leg is gonna end in a draw. Later on at 6, we have Stellenbosch against Kukune United, Babinanoko. Stellenbosch started off not on the best of notes against Kaizer Chiefs. They lost 2-0 at home. They were playing at the Athlone Stadium. They didn't use the Danny Craven Stadium, but we know that they're going to use the Danny Craven Stadium tomorrow. So I believe that it's gonna give them a bit of an upper hand. We know that the boys are usually amped up whenever they play there at the Danny Craven Stadium. It's a local stadium, so majority of the guys that stay around this where the stadium is situated, they support Stellenbosch. It's also easier for them just to commute to the stadium. So I believe there's gonna be a bit of an upper hand to Stellies. We know that Ngwali is suspended as he got a red card, but they do have a lot of depth in the squad. They will be ready for the match. We saw them piling so much pressure against Kaizer Chiefs even after getting a red card. At some point, I thought that Kaizer Chiefs are the one with the red card, but no, it was Stellenbosch. So I believe that the boys will be amped up. It's a semi-final. They've been to the final before. They were at the final last year. and we know how they lost. There was a bit of controversial moments in that final against Orlando Pirates. So they've done it before. They will want to do it again this year. So if there's a player that I think you guys should look out for is Langeli Hlepili. I know that the boy he doesn't get so much minutes as we would have hoped for, but he had a stellar game against Magesi during the week. He got the opening goal, and Stellenbosch conceded via a corner from Magesi. But we know Magesi are very strong with the aerial balls. But maybe it's one area that Stellenbosch should be on the lookout for, because there's a sniper that will be lurking around, and that man doesn't need a full chance. He needs half a chance. Or else, if you give him more than half a chance, he will punish you. If you give him half a chance, he will punish you. So he doesn't need any space. And that man is Bradley Hobla. He's very dangerous. He might be 38 years old, but he's very dangerous. So I saw Stellis conceding from a corner kick, and I was a bit worried. I just thought, yo, they don't know what's waiting for them. They also have your likes of Devin Titus. He hasn't really gotten off the mark. He had a few good shots against Kaizer Chiefs, but I believe he still has more to offer. There's also Andre Jong. He's very vital to Stelli's attack. He's actually the conductor in that team. You know that he moves off the ball, he links the attackers and the midfield. So he's very important to the system. There's also your likes of Ashley Cupido, who will be up top. Looking forward to seeing what he's going to offer. He has not opened his account as yet, but the nice thing is that there's fierce competition on the bench. We have the last year's MFC top scorer who's on the bench, so he will have to step up as soon as possible, or else he knows that there's someone to replace him on the bench. So there's also Lisibanku. I believe he's also gonna be very vital to Stellis this season. I'm hoping to see more of him, but they have a lot of competition there. I mean, for the wingers, on your left you have Langeli Hlepili, there's Sanele Barnes. Even on the right, there's Devin Titus. They can actually play on both sides, so it's a tough one. But in most cases, we see Langeli Hlepili playing on the left. He likes cutting in, and then in most cases we see Devin Titus playing on the right. So Nku can also play on the right while he cuts in onto his favorite left foot, and then Sanele Barnes can play on either side. So they have a lot of competition on the side. In the midfield, we know that they have Umani Butaka and Tato Kiba. They've been playing together since last season, so I believe that they should be gelling now. They signed a few players from your likes of Royal AM and Maruma Gallants, but I haven't really seen them play that much in the Stellis side. So I believe that Coach Steve Barker is just gonna integrate them slowly into the team. Now going to the Skukunya side, they will be very high in confidence. They won the first match against Orlando Pirates. It was a good game from them, good game plan from Eric Tingler. You could tell that they don't want to give Orlando Pirates any space, especially players like Rele Mofokeng. So the right back Matsimbi was very firm. Didn't give the young boy any space. So it was a tactical masterclass from Eric Tingler. It worked for them. Keletso Magalo was keeping the right back on his toes. Any chance he got, he ran at the right back, and he also whipped in the quality crosses for Bradley Grobler. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to shape up their attack against Stellenbosch. But we saw that they usually play Ncube on the right, Magala on the left, and Grobler up top. I heard that Grobler agreed to assist Magala to get his assist tally up. So we'll see whether it starts tomorrow. They've already started, but let's see if it's going to continue tomorrow. In the midfield, they have very, very experienced players, the likes of Figo Mtambo, Dash Monare, and Miguel Team. Very experienced. Once they get the lead, then I definitely know that these guys are going to manage the game. They've done it before. They've done it a lot of times. So yeah, it's a team that has a good balance. Just to give a special mention to Medupi Tukullo. That's a boy who played for VUT in the varsity football a few seasons back. And he played a season with Kazakh Stars in the Motsepe Foundation Championship. They actually played in the playoffs, and he's now playing in the big dogs. So it's been one of a journey for the boy. He imagine 2 seasons back you were playing in the varsity football, and a few seasons after that you're playing for Skukune, and you're getting back to back man of the match awards. So I believe big things are coming for the boy. He's partnering with Daniel Cardoso, the experienced Daniel Cardoso. I think that's also what's helping Sekukune. You're going for a young center back that's very hungry, and you pairing him with a very experienced center back that's been to big clubs before. So I believe that's a good recipe for success. And we know they also have Violet up at left back, very solid. He's also just come up into the professional ranks, but you would swear that he's been around for a lot of seasons now. He's very cool. Doesn't take any prisoners. So we saw when they played against Orlando Pirates, I did not see Apolis at all, and that's because Violet Lapa had him on lockdown. So it's gonna be an interesting match. I believe that one is also going to end in a draw. So yeah, I believe it's going to end in a draw. It's going to be a very tight one. It's going to be decided in Limpopo at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. So yeah, looking forward to see what the guys are going to bring for Saturday's first leg semifinals. Thank you guys for watching. I'd also like to, before we leave, I'd like to congratulate Coach Molefenzeki and the Chance squad led by Neo Maema. They are currently sitting on 4 points. They got a victory on sometime this week against Guinea. It was not an easy game. It was not an easy game, but they grinded the result. In the first match they drew 1-1 against Algeria. So congratulations for registering your first win, Mr. Nzeki. We know that they are playing on Friday against Niger. It should be a game where we collect 3 points, and I'm hoping that we're going to proceed to the knockout stages. Bafana Gaufela. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do not forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Diski ya rona bafethu.